Okay, you gotta stop. All right, let's do this shit again. All right. I don't know why my audio was fucked up. There's no reason why my audio should be fucked up. So I don't know. It's kind of annoying. I was going in, but man. All right, let me know in the comment section if my audio is good, cause I don't want to be wasting my fucking time. All right, I guess we got a fucking bot in the chat because they can't fucking understand English. I could have swore I wasn't speaking Cantonese when I asked if you could fucking hear me, but I guess I was. Shit. Whatever. We're just gonna go. If it sounds weird, then it just sounds weird. I'm not gonna waste my time focusing energy on some fucking volume. It is what it is. Uh, it should sound good. I don't see why. Why is this nigga in the fucking middle of the fucking street, dude? God damn it. Stupid ass. Dumbass people. We're just sitting there on the fucking street. And there's a fucking funeral home right here. Every time I come by this funeral home, there's always some niggas here. They were arguing, a bunch of niggas here once, and they were arguing. Like typical nigga shit, arguing at a funeral home. Like, crazy. Damn, they giving out hella food and shit over there. Alright, you said I'm sounding better. Alright, for sure. Shout out to Toronto Trader. You need to send me some of that Toronto trading money. Need a few thousand, nigga. I'm fucking with you. But yeah, shout out to Toronto Trader. Yeah. Shit, man. But yeah, I was just talking about like fuck, I don't even feel like saying what I was speaking about. I really don't even, but I'll probably just keep the other video. You guys can go back and see it. But shit, man. I want to talk about something real quick because I hear a lot of people talking about we need to build. We need to build and not just keep talking and shit. Which is true, we do need to build and not keep talking, but the fuck? At the end of the day, like most people aren't even in a mindset to really, because it's like when you talk about building something, you have to have the intention. Most people, they just, it's like most people want to go through the motions of shit, but not actually do it. Like at the end of the day, like what you need to focus on is building yourself up, right? I'm like me. There's things that I'm building in my life. My dad, we got things in Nigeria. I'm not even gonna tell you guys what I'm doing because there's no point. I feel like the more you keep speaking about, oh, I'm trying to build this while not actually doing it, you're just trying to like be a certain way, or it's like you're trying to go through the motions, but you don't really have the intentions. And then that's when like the shadow work needs to come. Because once you do the shadow work, then by default, what you're doing in life is building. That's where the mindset needs to be. It's not about, oh, I'm trying to go build. We should go. It's about, do you really have the intention? And if you don't, you need to get that shit up. So therefore, whatever you build doesn't just fucking tarnish and come the fuck down, or it fucks up because it would just build off um superfluous shit just for the look of it. Well, I want to go and fucking pay this money to be in this VIP so I could take a picture and look like I'm rich instead of actually doing the fucking work. So, buddy, when you do the fucking work, you can effortlessly flex. Get the fuck on, nigga. Goddamn. You fucking with this piece of shit raggedy duct tape on the back of your fucking car. The fuck you keep staying there for, nigga? So you can effortlessly flex. But it's like it seems like when people talk about building and shit, it's like they're trying to fucking they're trying to live out an image because they feel like that's what we need to be doing. And it's like you need to go like, first of all, what made you feel like you need to build something, and whatever made you feel like that, then you need to analyze that as a starting point of what you need to be building and how to get there and shit. Because you obviously something's making you feel like you need to build something. You're not just coming up with it. Because you're not coming up to go fucking buy some crochet fucking candles from the fucking store. Like you're not thinking of doing that because you don't know what the fuck to do with no candles. So you like everything you need. You always need to get what you came up with the idea and like why is it? Otherwise, whatever you build is just gonna cut. It's gonna have no substance really. But I like the way I look at it is like I just feel like most people in this world just full of shit. Most people are really just full of shit, really. Because people look at building as in making a lot of money and taking money to go buy something, which, yeah, that's building if you really look at it. But a pimp built his pimping industry. That's building. Government built they shit, but we don't fuck with they shit. That's building. So, like, what type of building are you talking about? Trying to build within their system, or are you trying to build your own system so we can get rid of this shit and have our own shit? On that level, that's some other type of shit that's different. Going to go get some money and build some shit. Go work at McDonald's and save up money and open up a savings account with a high AP annual yield, so you can save your money and make money off of it if you want to build something in the system. Like, like what type of building? Like I look, that's why I say most people just full of shit. That's why I don't even speak everything that I do on here, to be honest, because I just there's no point really. Because I don't really give a fuck how motherfuckers look at me or perceive me in this world. Because ain't nobody pay my fucking bills. I've been through hell. I've been through shit. I give a fuck about anybody really, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with people and shit. But as far as a image, just take my message and move the fuck on. Like that's just how I'm at right now. I look at it. Like I take the message. Like I don't get caught up in the messenger. Take the message. You see what I'm saying? You gotta take the message. Don't get caught up in the messenger. People get caught up in the messenger, and the life of the messenger is just about the message and move the fuck on. Then once you get great, then you can thank the messenger for the information by what you manifested with their message if you want to do that. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna drop a link in the thing. If anybody has anything they gotta say. Oh man. But my last live stream though, before they cut that bitch off, I would just talk about the marijuana industry because um I'm not even gonna go fucking talk about that shit. I really don't even feel like going over that. I just leave my last live stream up. You guys to go check that out, or I just probably clip it or some shit. Hopefully the audio is not too bad at the beginning, but I don't feel like going over that shit. Just more bullshit. Yeah, but we already in another month. 2 more months and this year is over. 2 more months and this year is over, which is crazy. I remember January of this year. I told myself I'm like every year it gets quicker. So in a year from now it's gonna be January and it's gonna be quick. And I was like, it probably won't be. And it's funny how we almost in January. So this shit's crazy. I feel like I'm not even looking at time anymore like that. That's one thing you niggas need to stop doing. To stop fucking looking at the time like how it is. Like, don't look at the time like how'd you looked at it a year ago, 2 years ago, because that's just gonna drive you fucking nuts and insane. Just look at it like just live your life right now in the moment. That's it. So whatever you gotta do, focus on what you gotta do, and that's it. Don't even worry about nothing else, because you get caught up in that, it's gonna be just not gonna be good. Because I literally think by the end of next year, time ain't even gonna really exist like that no more. Like it's gonna exist, but I say it's not gonna exist. It's not gonna fucking matter really. Like you can't be thinking like, oh, tomorrow this is gonna happen, and it's funny because this is leading up into this new transit that we're coming into. So everything's gonna be more quicker, and that's why it's good to get your shit right. And I really want to talk more about this prana energy, this what they call prana energy. I'm trying to find a new term for it, but what when you go on the internet and you hear people say prana, the pranic journey, prana lifestyle, this is this is just fucking these faggot racist piece of shit disgusting Jews and Masons that are trying to take something that's pure and natural and fuck with it and taint it with bullshit and Hinduism. So don't, when you hear pranic journey, chi, tai chi, qigong, these are all bullshit terms, but I use these terms so you guys can know what I'm talking about, because everything that I'm doing is an energetic process, and it's a what's the word for it, mechanism. It's a processing mechanism that happens in the body. So when you're moving your hands, something is happening in your body, and whatever that thing is and whatever's happening, it's generating energy in the body. So when you're having these sensations, this isn't just some energy in the air. This is fucking your nervous systems and your nerves and the different fluids actually moving in your body. That's what you're feeling, and and that's the process taking place, and you're just generating energy. Everything is within you. That's what it is. And when you're on this journey, you're powering up your being. It's physically, mentally, spiritually. It's giving it like an extra boost. And it when you build this energy, you're able to manipulate the energy and program it, and it help you in life. Just be all around, depending on how what you're doing in life. That's really what this is. And building this energy takes years. It takes a lot of time to build this energy. It's not overnight. This is why I said you want to start right now, because if you start right now, you're going to have energy. You're going to have something like, it's like you have something stashed away for when you need it. Like a lot of these problems that they're presenting you, a lot of these problems is just people. The only way a lot of problems can affect you is if you don't have a lot of energy. This is what they call chi deficient. So when you're what they call chi deficient or prana deficient, this is when you need a lot of external stimuli to make up, because you don't have a lot of energy that's making you feel satiated and satisfied. So you need something external. Think about it like this: like every time you want to play a video game or you want to do something, you feel a lack, and you feel that will make you feel better. That's why you want to do it. So when you are chi deficient, you need a lot of external things in the world. You need a lot of. I'm not saying you're not supposed, because we're all in the human body. We're supposed to have certain emotions and shit. But the thing is, though, you can transmute those emotions. You can transmute. It's all about transmutation. So yeah, I could feel angry. I could feel angry when somebody's stopping me from doing my qigong practice. I could feel angry when somebody's in my way, stopping me from doing my spiritual journey. So yeah, I could feel angry. I could feel sad and depressed that I missed this opportunity. So tomorrow, when I have another opportunity, I remember I don't want to feel sad and depressed like that. So I'm gonna take this one. So yeah, we all have emotions, but it's about how hard that emotion is. When you are chi deficient, you your emotions are more intense. You need a lot of external things, and society wants to keep you in this way because this makes the corporations and the businesses rich. A lot of the reasons why a lot of these corporations and businesses have billions of dollars is because people have blockages. People are miserable and are addicted to desires. People didn't need. This is why they don't teach qigong in class and in school, because over time, I'm not going to say everybody will be a breatharian, but people will not need as much because people have more internal joy and bliss. Well, they won't need as much food or what. It's like, think of all the times when were when you're not hungry, you don't have an appetite. It's when you're extremely happy or when you're extremely sad. So that emotional and how you regulate that internal is all going to be dependent on your emotions, happy or sadness, how much you're consuming. When you're talking about building up prana and chi, and I'm not saying you need prana and chi to build to be happy or whatever, but it adds an extra boost. It's like an energy boost. It's like a high. When they talk about high, getting high off life, This is the closest thing to getting high off life. It actually is getting high off life. When you do it the first 2 times, you just feel relaxed. But once you get into like over like 3 months of doing it, you start really feeling this energy, and it's like you feel just more more like a super being in a way, if I should say it. Not like you just everything feels just more like lighter and quicker. Like I ran like a mile yesterday, and it didn't feel like a mile. It felt like I just jogged around the like things that I'm doing don't feel as much. Like I don't feel my body as much. Like if I'm going through a stress, if I'm sitting in a position, you like a lot of you guys be sitting in a position and you feel uncomfortable in your hands. Me, it'll take me a long time for me to feel uncomfortable, or I could hold a pose a long time, and it's nothing to do with strength. It has everything to do with just I have a lot of energy. So when I'm talking, I can talk a lot quick, and I don't get tired and need water and shit. He says I'll be talking, I'll be rambling, and I'll be moving, and it's like that's what this energy does. It amplifies it, and you just go mode. And then eventually you get to those levels. You don't need food, you don't need water, you don't need to sleep. You sleep like 2-3 hours a day, and then you just go mode from there. That's what I feel life is supposed to be lived. You don't have to live life like this, but it's just like a computer. Depending on what chip you put in the computers is how strong it's going to be. You don't need the highest RTX fucking latest edition chip from Intel or whatever. You don't need it to run fucking programs, but if you get it, it could go quicker. You don't need Qigong, but if you do, it can make your program quicker. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what this energy practice is, and this takes time. It takes years. And what am I saying? Like you're gonna feel it. 4 months is what they say is when you built a foundational level of the Dantian. That's what they call the energy center in the body. That all of this are just names that these fucking faggot Jews and Masons named to try to capitalize and steal from what was actually natural and pure. So just I'm just using the names so you guys can understand what. But they call the energy center what they call right here Dantian, where you bring the energy in, and fucking once that build, that's that foundation where it's built takes about 4 months. They said that's what one dude said. I'm about to be on my fourth month in November 3rd. So ever since July 3rd, I've been doing my Qigong. So I've been doing it for 4 months, and um, I'm not stopping doing this because I feel like shout out to Mooney Mercury. I'm about to add you right now. I feel like this shit really is like I don't want to stop it because the more you do it, I can see this energy build up. So I can see why people like breatharians and shit, they be on they because I can see because all of that has nothing to do with not eating. It has everything to do with meditation. This is why a lot of the breatharians will tell you don't even worry about eat. Just eat what you want to eat. Just meditate, and over time you're gonna notice you don't want any of this shit no more. But what's good with it?
Hell yeah, I agree with all that too. Hey yo, I just want to kind of touch on the topic a little bit because you're right. I actually agree. Well, I think we're at a time where if you are gonna talk about building and shit, it's not gonna be a good look unless you actually like living it and showing it too. Like for
Yeah.
example, if somebody's gonna talk about building and shit, they're gonna have a live stream where they show the shit they're building physically, show the people
Mhm.
they're with and all that. If they can't do that, it's like
Yeah.
a useless topic or an outdated topic for real.
And you're right, but also once you have that, what are you doing? Does it look like you're running a homeless shelter taking care of a bunch of grown-ass women and children like
Right,
Nature Boy? Or is it something that's creating another system? Or are you guys just together just making money in a room, just trading stocks and making money just to go out and have a nice fucking furnished apartment? Like,
right.
is it to an end to build a system and then eventually down the line create our own language and all that? But that's further down. But that's the end starting point. That's what I look at building, because a lot of people mistake building for just running up a bag and
Right.
getting a bunch of people and just having fun and chilling. That's just living a life with a bunch of roommates, like, which is
Yeah,
nothing
in
wrong,
a
but
system that's already built for that. Exactly. You're right. So
exactly.
I think yeah, you know what you're talking about because a lot of people don't even realize how much work it is to
Yeah,
do such things.
and my bad to cut you off, but they're trying to make people feel bad that they don't have what they have, or you're not building because you don't have what we have. But then they're not doing shit, and then they'll try to get people to feel like they're missing out or they're not building. It's like, no, this person just living their life normally, like anybody else that's a bot. They're not building nothing. Don't feel bad that you not doing something just because they say they're building. They're just saying they're building. They're not actually building. Building is
Right.
something that's not even have to do with the system. And if it does have to do with the system is helping you and you're helping it in a way, which I don't see how that can work. But
Exactly. And it's crazy because if you really look out in reality or on the internet, where however the fuck you observe shit, like there really ain't well, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I haven't come across a group of people that are taking it that deep to the point where they're literally creating every single aspect of a new system in life and what I have not seen that yet. And the closest I've seen to that is probably people that live off the grid, but they're not really trying to build a new system. They just want to be self-sufficient. So like that's probably the closest I've seen to people
yeah,
building shit from scratch, kind of.
exactly. Like I don't like there was this one or like the people that will build, but they try to get away from the government by claiming sovereignty or something. Like I guess that, but even then, that's kind of playing into their shit.
Right.
But yeah, I don't really even see. And the way I
There's
look
no
at it,
examples.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe it doesn't even really take the money and all that like people think to get there. It just takes people thinking on one accord. Because if enough people thought on one accord, then the system will lose energy, and that in itself will speak volumes. Because if
Right.
packages aren't delivered, if certain things aren't being commercial, isn't being like if logistics isn't being ran in a certain way, then things aren't gonna like add up, and then that's like a protest. But that's a real protest because the system's gonna be hurting. So therefore, they're gonna have to acquiesce and negotiate. But you're gonna need a lot of people,
And a lot of
um,
work.
and a lot of people and a lot of work. My best. I had a phone call, but it's
But
just
and that's the
crazy.
thing though. You're exactly right because everybody's intents and minds and opinions on this shit is so different, but in reality, what would really have to happen is that group of people would have to learn a whole bunch of shit. Like I'm talking like even down to construction and shit if you want to go that deep with it. Like and that's not like
Exactly.
that's hard work, you know what I'm
Th-
saying?
th-
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I think people think it's easier than it actually is.
yeah, for real. But like I said, this is why it's a good thing that maybe we can use some of this AI as a starting point to learn this shit to get it built. This is probably what the AI did because the AI can still be used for things like that to learn how to build shit or
They
to
got
build certain
Amazon
things.
homes and shit that you could build easy
It,
apparently.
exactly, and then plus they're coming. Plus they have 3D printing. They have 3D printing machines that you could print materials for. Like they had a 3D. They printed a 3D printed house. I seen that once. 3D printing machines that you could build shit. Like there's a lot of things that actually start stuff. Like imagine if you got
Right.
like a whole bunch of these 3D printing machines, materials like it's this steering wheel, like right here. You could make that, and it may sound like, oh, who needs to make a steering wheel? But the fact that you can make something and not need to go to a corporation, you can just gather your own resource,
Right.
use that 3D printer to print whatever you need. You can start creating whatever you need in terms of like objects and small resource, and then go from there.
Yep, that's how you take your power back. And people got to display that. Like you said, they can't just talk about it. They got to actually show it.
Yeah,
That's why I don't even like sometimes I'll touch on topics like that, but I don't even like to go too deep on it cuz you're absolutely right. It's just no point. So that's why like I try to just stay to like
yeah.
individual teaching and spiritual growth and shit like that.
Yeah, and it would make it look like it'd be like a dick showing contest or some shit. Like, oh,
Yeah.
who has this? And it's more like who has a better look. More so, like nigga, like at the end of the day, like that's really what it comes down to. Does it have a better look, or are you actually doing something? Because at the end of the day, like if you work at a 9 to 5 and you get paid like 300 grand a year because you're a slave, you can't do shit with that money. Because if you do, you're gonna get in trouble. Or so it was like at that point, is it the look or is it actually something being done?
Right.
And when it comes to something being done, I literally believe you just need like enough people, and you won't even need what the things people need. I feel like it's just a conscious shift that a lot of people have to be aware of, and people willing to do what they're supposed to be doing. And if everyone's doing what we're all supposed to do, which we all have a mission or purpose, everybody, I feel, if we all do our thing, but we'll all be doing shadow work and reach what they call enlightenment. I don't look at it as enlightenment, but we'll reach a certain level of awareness. Then once you reach to that level, whatever you're doing consciously and subconsciously at that level, by default will be building, because by default that's going to be your joy, your
Your
entertainment, your
purpose, your
desire.
passion.
Yeah, you can't get out of it. So that's why I say building is supposed to come effortlessly, and it's
Mm.
not supposed to be something we got to go out and try. I'm not saying don't go out and try it, because we at some point you got to just force yourself to do shit, but to build something that's sustainable and authentic, it's supposed to be something you desire, you want to build, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know it
Right.
100%.
And it's
And
gonna
if
take
you,
time. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, especially Saturn going into Aries, it's gonna take a lot of time, because Aries is ignition and starting shit. Saturn
Mm-hmm.
is restriction, so it doesn't like that. So we're gonna be forced to want to have to start shit. But the thing is, it's gonna be met with a lot of restriction. This is why you want to
Oh
start right
wow.
now.
That's
And
deep.
then not only that, it's gonna be met with a lot of restriction and impatience. Because Saturn is slow, Aries is
Mm.
quick, and it's fast, so it's going to be a lot of impatience. So people are going to be very impatient. People are going to be very upset, which is going to lead to anger and kind of mental, spiritual war. Neptune and Aries, that's spiritual war as well. It's going to be taking place at all times. They're going to use social media, because Neptune rules social media as well. So they're going to use social media to put more spiritual warfare. Also, I'm saying a lot of impatience, a lot of fucking just
Yeah.
yeah, it's just gonna
Damn. That makes hella sense. That makes hella sense because you need patience to build these type of things. It's going, yeah, that makes sense. Wow. That's a good way to look at it.
exactly. And that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Like once that Saturn gets into Aries, everyone's gonna want to do shit and be motivated to do it, but it's gonna be met with a lot of restriction or a lot of impatience, or like,
Shadow
damn, I
government
want it
probably gonna be
now.
on some bullshit.
Yeah, the government gonna probably be on trying to make it even harder. And plus that, um, United States is a Cancer, and it squares Aries. So, and Saturn doesn't like to be in Aries. So this, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of problems
Mm.
for the people in this country.
Hmm.
And you,
Damn, that's deep. Well, that's all I wanted to chime in on about Chauncey. Keep doing your thing, and
yeah.
I'm out.
Yep, you too. Shout out to you. Yep. Shout out to Moody Mercury. But and I'm not saying like it has to be bad or nothing, because also you got to remember, like, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Aries, it's gonna be Saturn's gonna be an Aries, so that's a square. So it's gonna be a learning process. So don't look at it like it's meant to just beat you down, and it's something that's like it's not like an inconjunct where it's a misunderstanding and shit. It was like it's more like a square. Like, so whatever is happening is meant to build you up and for you to learn. So this is why I say the best thing anybody can do right now is focus on these energies, exercise. This is one of the best things you can do. There's many good things you can do, but it's free. It takes 30 minutes 2 times a day, 30, 40 minutes 2 times a day, and morning, night, and then just add that to your daily routine and just do it. And then 2, 3 years, you're going to have, shout out to Dola, what he says, back pocket energy. So this is going to, mental, spiritually, physically, is going to put you in a spiritual mindset, and in a different being, where you're gonna just be in a better state. You're gonna have ideas, make better decisions. You're gonna have more energy, motivation. You're not gonna need as much. You won't the things you won't desire them the same. I'm not saying you won't have any desire, because we're human, but like everything is just different. And I can't speak too much, 'cause I'm only doing it 4 months. But what I can tell you in this 4 months, how I feel from month one, month two, is different from month four. Like it's like a bodybuilding. It's like I guess like every month the person gets bigger, and in 5 years they look bigger, but you didn't see them grow over every day. That's exactly how this energy is. It's a bodybuilding. Don't think that, oh, the energy stopped growing, or I don't feel it. No, if you're doing it right, it's gonna keep growing, and it's gonna have energy. You're gonna have like it's gonna be a compound effect every day. Have energy. Over a year, they say over a year you reach another level. 3 years is when you reach the foundation of the practice. They call it, it's some Chinese name. It's all Masonic shit, but it's just the practice that I do is a certain name for that practice. It's like it's in China. It's in Chinese saying standing like a tree, but it's like in Chinese. Once you do that for like 3 years, that builds the foundation for that exercise. So that's just the beginning in 3 years of any type of qigong practice. 3 years. 4 months is when you built the foundation for the energy center, what they call Dantian. I've been doing it for 4 months, and I feel a lot more like a lot of you guys like who just started. You guys feel more flow in the beginning, and as you feel, or when you're holding your hands up, it feels kind of like shaky. As you build more energy, it's gonna balance itself out. You're gonna be able to control it, and that flow you feel is gonna be more like quicker. Like it's gonna be more light. Like you'll feel like your limbs are lighter. Like you're moving. Like so, and this is mental too. So everything. So now whatever you're doing in life, you can use everything you're doing to power whatever you're already doing. So all of this we're doing to the body qigong, we're using this for our purpose to better our life. We're not just using it for no reason or just to feel good. We're using it to better our life, and it's gonna make whatever we're doing a lot easier, quicker. Even if you're working these 9 to 5 jobs and shit, it's gonna make it a lot more quicker. You won't be as tired after the day because you have the energy. But in order to experience that, you got to be doing it for at least 3-4 months plus to really have that experience. In the beginning, you may feel kind of like you're getting used to it. But the main benefits to this take place, I say, after 6 months, 4 to 6 months, but guaranteed after 6 months. Because once you master this, because what right now you guys want to pick something you want to master. You guys see how quick time is going and everything is going. You don't even know if they could shut down Instagram tomorrow. They could do. You don't know. Remember when the pandemic happened? Nobody knew that was gonna happen, but they just came. So don't you not think there's gonna be something else that's gonna happen? Every president election, there's something that happens, and we going into another one. So I feel like they're gonna do something else. I don't know what it is. So you want to always be prepared. Don't even be too dependent on this social media. They could shut down this whole social media shit tomorrow and or police it in a way. I remember back in 2017 or something, they passed an internet law. I forgot what it was. I have to look it up, but it was some type of internet law, and it was gonna make. And people were complaining about it, but it was gonna make the internet more stringent. But they said it was gonna take a place. It was gonna take place years down the line. The reason they say years down the line because as time goes on, the internet's going to be more powerful, going to be more quicker, more stronger, and as it gets more quicker, stronger, powerful, and more people on it, it's going to be they're going to want to control it more. They're going to make it like an institution because it's going to have a lot of power, and you see it getting like that. This is why on the internet now you really can't do shit. You can't do anything. Like even like fucking, I seen a video on TikTok. Some nigga in a grocery store going crazy, yelling at the cash register. I'm like, isn't that the fucking place I go to? That's the fucking grocery store in my backyard I go to. Like, that's what I'm saying. And I cussed out the security guard and shit. I'm like, I could have cussed this nigga out. Somebody could have recorded it and got me viral. So we going into a different world. And I'm like, this nigga's in the same. I looked at the store. I'm like, no, it's probably because you know how the stores they have the same layout. So I'm like, maybe it's just the same layout. It's just a different location. I seen the address number. And then when I looked out the window, because he was in the building, but then there was a window, and I look out the window, I see buildings that look like the area. I'm like, the fuck, this nigga's in the area, and I see the numbers, the address. I'm like, the fuck. I'm like, and then the video got like 1 million views or some shit. I'm like, god damn. And then so I don't be doing crazy shit no more. Like, if you ask the people I used to kick with, I used to be the nigga like when we drunk, I used to do the most craziest stupid shit. They had to tell me to calm down and shit because the you're doing too much. Like, I used to do the most. Like, whatever I did, I always went hard at it. Like, whatever I did. Like, if we went and drunk, I'd be the nigga who showed my ass and fucking threw shit and throw the garbage and get loud and did. Like, I would be, like, I do whatever I go loud at. So now when I go into my health thing, I take my health and I take my spirituality very serious because I have a moon in the 8th house. Whatever I do, I go passionate, I go hard at it. Everything. This shit is honey. The only thing I never went hard at is working at a bum ass 9 to 5. When I went over there, I deliberately fucking did go hard. If I caught myself going hard at, I'll be like, I have to catch myself and then take a break. So that's the only thing I never went hard at. Even though I could have, I just never because I don't. Yeah, but yeah, guys, like, but I'm gonna do another qigong workout probably tomorrow, and just to bring another one. The last workout I did, it kind of got fucked up because the battery ran out. I'm gonna make sure my battery's up, so I'm gonna do another one tomorrow and just keep doing these. It don't even matter if you do the same practice every day. It's better than not doing any. Just do something every day, 30 minutes, 2 times a day. That's what I've been doing, and you're gonna thank yourself a year. Like I started back in July, and right now I'm glad and I'm grateful that I fucking started this shit. I'm like, damn, I'm glad because look how much time already passed, and I already did it every day, and I'm on the routine, so I'm gonna keep doing this shit, and like I already feel a lot more different too. I feel a lot more different. My diet, when it comes to fasting, fasting is it's mental and it's physical. On a certain level, you can remove your hunger pains, but the harder thing is removing the psychological addiction. So, yeah, you may not not be hungry physically, but you also have to go through the psychological addiction of removing food. It's just like with drugs. When people get off drugs, they'll tell you it's not just the withdrawals that's hard, it's the emotional bond. So when they're walking down the street and they see a certain store, they remember used to buy weed from that or buy drugs from that store. Just being at that area will make them want to get high, even though they don't have withdrawals, because it's an emotion. And a lot of you guys don't think of it because you guys are used to eating. You think, oh, it's time to eat. I'm hungry. But once you really get rid of food, you got to notice how much of an emotional bond it is. Like, you'll even be like, it's to a point where you'll walk by a certain restaurant, or you'll walk in a building, or you'll hear a noise or something, and you wouldn't even think anything right now because you just live your life, but it will trigger a hunger, or a certain time of the day you'll feel hungry. You may have a favorite a movie that you want to watch, and it comes out in December, when that movie comes out, you want to eat and watch the movie so you can enjoy the movie more while you're eating your favorite. See, it's like shit like that you got to eliminate when you're on this journey and shit. It's deeper than that, and you don't want to rush yourself into the process as well, because you can also develop like more addictions, because like if you're eating a lot of, if you just stop yourself from eating, like there before I started fasting, there have been times where before I started fasting, I'll be able to like go a whole day without eating. Then like I remember when I started fasting, like 6 7 months after I started fasting, when I wasn't fasting, when I wasn't hungry, I'll be looking forward to eat, or I'll be like, I'll eat like the moment I have a slight hunger, I'll go and eat, because in a way, I rushed myself into it in the beginning, not knowing that I was causing myself subconscious trauma of like starvation, because you're causing, like, when you go through starvation, it's like a trauma. So when you're fasting and you rush yourself into it, your brain, even though you're doing it consciously, your brain registers as trauma. So when you do end your fast, if you just rush yourself into it, you start craving certain foods, or you start doing shit like, I remember I drove like fucking like 30 minutes just to go to this fucking like restaurant. This was like years ago. Just shit like that. And like before I started fasting, I never used to do that. But like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go get the cheap one here, or this or that, or it didn't matter what I ate, whatever. I just, as long as I had it and shit. And it's crazy. It's funny. But over time, though, once you keep doing it and you build it, this is why it's good to do the meditation, because the meditation will get rid of those cravings and everything. I wasn't doing meditation back then. The meditation is gonna make the food cravings, even like sexual desire craving. Like if you have a problem with fapping, this energy will calm that down. It also can raise it as well, depending on the person and the situation, because the energy, it works both ways. So you may have a spike in it as well when you're on this energy, when on this process, but also it quells it as well. So you don't have like certain desires to want to do fapping and all that. I'm not saying it's gonna go away, like because at the end of the day, to get rid of any addiction is really simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. How you get rid of any addiction is you prove to the spirit that you don't want this addiction by performing certain actions, and then one day the spirit is going to just grant you that ability to not be addicted to that shit. That's really what it is. It's nothing else. When people tell you, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, those are the actions the spirit wants you to take. But in all ultimate, the spirit makes a decision at the certain time that you're not going to be addicted, or you're going to be a breatharian. You're not going to need it. It's all the energy. That's why I tell you, health is all that shit. It's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. Even when you get sick and you die, like go to people who got a disease or they die. It's usually happens on a certain day. Happens at a certain time, or it's a certain like story or formula or process that happens and it leads up. It doesn't just happen. Like you may be going down the street and then you see an accident happen and two people get in a car crash. You just see two people get in a car crash, but you don't see this other person and all the lead up of that event and the things they did to lead to that event. And then this person, the things there was something they did and it led to that event, and then nothing just fucking happened. So you gotta always look at it like that. Yeah. The fuck is she looking at? Motherfucker just staring at me and shit. Weird ass people. But like I said, guys, like just stay on this, keep going. You don't wanna stop this. If you started, don't stop. And if you haven't started, get on it right now. Don't waste any more time. Whatever you want to do, just start right now. Even if it's not all the way, like start, like let's just say you got a bunch of stuff you want to do. Start on something that's gonna take a long time, whether it be working out, doing qigong, fasting, yoga, learning something. Start right now, and then over time you're gonna have some type of energy you can build in 2-3 years. Because in the future, it, what they want you to think is the world is bleak. This is why they're promoting all this stupid shit on YouTube, and the world men are giving up and all this shit. And the bitch ass niggas is giving up. Don't think that is all men, because even when you watch those videos, the type of men who go on that channel and shit, and the people who make the videos, they're not even the same type of men that I fuck with or you fuck with. They're just dumbass bots. But they want you to think that all men are giving up. That's just bitch ass niggas. If you got shit going, because we're just moving into a different time. If you worked at Amazon and Walmart your whole fucking life, and you just came home and played video games and paid for your Game Pass subscription, and you called that fucking life, and you got high, then you're going to be in for a rude awakening, and your life is going to suck, and the world is ending for you. But if you're somebody who's beyond that, and you have purpose and meaning in life, then this is the beginning. Actually, they want you, this is a program. Everything you see on the social media and on the news is what the government wants, because they have to manifest it. This is why they talk about The Secret and manifesting and all this dumb shit, because that's their whole template on how to get people to when they talk about shit on the news, that's what they want to manifest, and they want you to believe it so you can help that manifest. It doesn't mean that's what's gonna fucking happen. So when they said the world's ending, like, what makes you think the world's ending? Like, because a fucking dumbass can't get a fucking job at Starbucks? You're a stupid fuck if you think that means that dictates that the world's ending. Fuck Starbucks. Fuck that dumbass job. That shit's synthetic as hell. I don't need that shit. A bird doesn't need fucking Starbucks. But a bird's an animal, like you're an animal. A bird isn't having economic issues, but you're having. And you may say, well, we're in a system. Even if you want to talk about we're in a system that's created and we have a higher mind, there's people living in this system that don't have economic issues. Haven't you heard of a millionaire? So even if you want to blame the system why you have economic, that's not no case, because there's millionaires out there, there's billionaires. So that don't, well, what the fuck you mean the world's only any to bitch ass niggas? Don't believe any of the hype and all that crap that they tell you. They just want people to feel a certain way and give up hope. Because if you're a dumb, retarded bot who's probably atheist and most likely a cracker that lives with his fucking grandmother's basement, then you're probably gonna think the world's gonna end because due to your atheists. And I don't want to just say white people; it's all races of people, niggas too, Mexican. It don't matter who race. I don't want to just call out one race. But if you're one of these dumbass people who believe in this atheist dumbass shit, and you think the world is how they told you, then you're right. The world is gonna end for you, for your type of people, and you're gonna be the one who created it and caused it. I hate when they make dumbass shit like that. And then you have people in the comments, oh, I found people that can relate to me. Oh, people can relate to me. I'm like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Ain't nobody can relate to you. The moment that person starts doing better or you start doing better, there's going to be toxicity and they're going to look at you like an outsider. That's not fucking relating. That's just somebody who's just trauma bonding. Get the fuck out of here. Because the thing is, when you have those relationships, you bond with people, and you can't do better because no one's trying to do better. Because doing better means actually doing the work, and everybody, this society encourages everybody to feel comfortable. So everybody, as long as they have the money to be comfortable, they want to be comfortable. So nobody's looking at actually bettering their life. They just, I need the money to get comfortable. And when they have the money, they feel like they can be comfortable. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's why I don't even fucking take any of this shit serious. Fucking the trauma bonding. That's fucking hilarious. Trauma bonding. That's literally like the whole YouTube. You go down the whole YouTube, you see nothing on the comments. Oh, I can relate with you. And then like the people say the same fucking shit every day. And there's nothing wrong with saying the same shit if it's a health message or if it's a spiritual message to reiterate it or to tell the new people. But it's like the same fucking. It's like at that point, it's an entertainment. It's an entertainment, really. The same way you watch Comedy Central late night, it's the same way you watching that. Now you can't tell me any other way, and then they'll rationalize why they watching it. Oh, I'm watching it so I can relate to people. I'm watching it so I can get better. Like, oh, I'm trying to help the message and spread the message. Like, bitch, the message that you're spreading, everybody knows it. The fuck? It's like the fire alarm's going off and you go in the building. There's a fire, everyone! Bitch, we already know. We hear this loud ass blaring. You trying to yell over the fire alarm. There's a fire alarm! Can't you hear me? Bitch, we know we hear the fire alarm. That's why your stupid ass have to yell hella loud. That's how these niggas say sound. Like, okay, we get it. From 2000 fucking like 16, 15 to like, I'll say 2020, we got the message. After 2020, nigga, like, we already realized who was a dumb fuck. And pretty much all hope was lost to anybody with a slight smidget of sanity. Once 2020 hit. But all that year, people got the message. Then 2020 hit, it was regurgitated and said, and then people got dumber, and then shit is where we are today. It's like nothing's going on. And you still saying, oh, I'm trying to spread the message. I don't even say I'm trying to spread the message no more. I'm just trying to talk to people who know what the fuck to do and they can resonate with me, and then they'll apply. Because I don't want somebody who just follows me. You should be able to analyze your own life and know what you need and what you don't need. And what I say is like a puzzle piece. It shouldn't be like I follow you 100% and all that. That's bullshit. But that's how these other motherfuckers are. Like, shit's crazy. Give me a minute, guys. Go take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. What's good with it? Yeah. But Shit, man. Somebody just asked me for directions. I don't know. She asked me for directions, and then how to get there. I gave her the direction, and she walking in the opposite area. Like that's kind of weird. Like I don't. People are weird as fuck, man. Like you asked me for directions, I gave you directions. She's like, "Thank you," and she walks in the opposite direction. Like I don't know. Like she just asked me that just to ask me. Like she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Yeah. Shit, but I'll probably end this live stream, guys. Probably end this live stream. That's all I really have to say. Unless somebody else got something to say, you guys want to join the fucking chat. But I'm just I'm good. Don't let my videos make you think that I'm just fucking all irate and shit. So like 90% of the time when I come off like that, I'm just chilling. I just like to fucking do that. To be honest, that's usually how I am. I just like to get like I got a Mercury in the eighth house in in Aries, conjuncting my moon in Aries in the eighth house. So it's like whatever I say. Like sometimes I kind of be fucking I be talking too much sometimes because I express too much of how I'm feeling, and it could come out as disrespectful. It come out as disrespectful. So, but that's why I just channel it. You gotta transmute it because when I say these negative alignments, there's good and bad to every alignment. Don't think like it's a negative. You can't have it because a person with the worst alignment, if they did the work and overcame their problems, shit, they'll probably be in a good position, better than somebody else who doesn't have that. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends. You just gotta always look at the positive of everything. That's one thing I'm very fortunate for is that I've always had common sense. I've always had a lot of common sense. And if you watch my channel, you or people that speak like me, you fortunate. You should be lucky you have this type of mind because a lot of people are so dumb. That's why I say like don't be comparing yourself to a lot of these dumbass bots. That's why when you guys see this shit, a lot of you guys watch my channel. Don't be thinking like because if you watch my channel and you apply the information and knowledge, you're not gonna have the problem of these bots and these people out here complaining. These people, when you see people complain about poverty and issues and this and that, and if you look at their mindset and how they think, always understand it and always get that. When you see somebody who's in a fucked up, it's not even have to be with money, just in a fucked up situation. You see a gangbang, always getting shot up. They always tell you stories how they get shot up. But look how they act on a daily basis. It tells you that's the reason. Nothing just happens to people. So, don't think you're gonna be like these individuals out there. Like you don't fucking, you're more, your mind you're gonna make the decisions that's not gonna lead you in the same position as them. And if you are in the position, let's just say you happen to be in a position, you're gonna know how to get out of it, and you're not gonna be complaining. When you see somebody who's always bitching and complaining year over year, that's a person stuck in their own hell. They can't get out of their own hell because they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're dumb. They have a dumbass atheist mind, and they don't believe until they believe. Oh, there's no point in that's a spirit that's in hell because they don't believe there's no point, so they act as such, and then they create situations like similar, like and then like they're gonna be stuck in hell because the truth is the truth. You can rationalize and be in a delusion all you want, but the truth is still gonna play out. And you ain't any of these people. Like don't even that's what they give you a lot of views if you talk shit about like men are giving up and people are giving up on society and all this shit. And don't get me wrong, it's good that people are working for the system, but they want you to be like in that defeatist mindset. So now the government can do whatever they want, and you just accept it with your asshole like wide open. Like that's what they want. So now you be like, well, the world is crumbling. So there's nothing I can do but just shut the fuck up, you stupid idiot. Like, you're the reason the world's comfortable, you dumb fuck. Like, the people that really run shit. We have a lot of dumbass people. That's why I'm like, in a way, maybe like it's like sometimes I think in a way, fucking like it, because if it didn't have to be like this, really, and if you really look at it, nobody's even having kids now, so the world really ain't is really coming to an end in a way because nobody's having children. And Gen Z, they don't want to have kids. They're like anti-natalists. These niggas talking about how they care so much for their son, they're not gonna have him. Like, bitch, you don't have a son. Like, I love my son so much, I'm not gonna bring him into this world. What son, bitch? You don't have one. They literally say that dumb shit. So they're already not having kids and shit. And then they fuck it up because even if you want to have kids, you have to be. It's like it's gonna be a mistake in terms of the bitch because most of these bitches are damaged and they refuse to do the work because most females, they don't feel like they need to do the work. They feel like the work is catered around, even though this sounds fucking crazy, most bitches believe the work is all catered around a man coming and helping them and saving them and being responsible for their bullshit. And if no man has that, then they're either gonna just live with a bunch of cats, or if they're with a man, blame the man why she's a fucking failure, or why they're both failures. Because he's gonna be a failure if he attracted and he's with a fucking failure. But yet the stupid bitch thinks that she deserves somebody who's anything but a failure. Like, bitch, what do you have to offer but some pussy? Go on the fucking track and sell that shit if you want some money, which will probably make more sense instead of getting into a relationship with a person you don't fucking like and you disrespect. Stupid hoe. Shit's ridiculous, man. Like, this world is crazy. So you can't even have, like, it's like, I don't want to say you can't have kids because I'm sure there's people out there, I'm sure, but you're playing Russian roulette dealing with these fucking bitches out here. That if you just gonna have kids, because they're gonna be mostly just damaged, and the moment they feel emotional, they won't allow you to see the kids, and then child support, and obviously with the economy and most of these bitches they broke, they're gonna want to go get child support and find a reason. And like, and it's not even about, because a lot of men, they get their children taken away for retarded reasons because they give the bitch the power. So the the woman will literally go cheat on the man, and the man will be like, "Why are you cheating on me?" And then she'll say, "Oh, I'm gonna get a divorce because you questioned me." Or she'll sit there and disrespect the man, and the man will say something, "Oh, I'm gonna get it," like shit like that, because you're dealing with a lot of mentally ill bitches out here. So this is why I don't even give any of them any. I would never put myself in a position to even do that. If I do have any children, it'll probably be in Africa, go to Nigeria, and do over there or something, because they're more traditional. Or I'll go to like a traditional country and not Philippines and in Thailand, because too many niggas go over there and them bitches probably ran the fuck through. I'd probably go to Africa because it's more exotic and there's a lot of different places in Africa. It's a hella land, hella shit to go and things to do and shit. I would go there one day. I'll probably visit there because I got family out there. Yeah, that's the reason I'll go visit, because I got family. I don't just go visit. Not a lot of people. Oh, you go to Africa. Why you want to go to Africa? Are you from Africa? You're not from Africa. Why the fuck you want to go over there? What's the point? Like, stupid. Like, they'll be wearing a kente cloth. I'm African and I'll never want to wear no fucking kente cloth. Don't put that fucking Masonic shit on me. I think I wore one once, and that was years ago when I was like in high school to a Nigerian party. And it was just a fucking shirt. I wore jeans. Nigga wear. Every time I see a nigga wear a kente cloth, I fucking look at them suspicious. Like, what do you got to? What type of cocoa butter do you got to sell, nigga? Like, what course do you have to sell? What yowed obnoxious yelling about Yahweh do you have to say? That's literally what I every time I see a nigga in kente cloth. Niggas. Yeah. But I'm probably gonna end this live stream, guys. This is a good live stream. I'm gonna keep it short this time. If anyone had any questions, I'll probably keep it longer, but looks like nobody has no questions. So I'll probably just end this. And peace.